Today we're making the most incredible vegan brown butter peach cobbler. The first thing we'll do is slice our peaches. You need about 1 pound of firm but ripe peaches. And if I had to pick, I would say peaches are my favorite summer fruit. That's why I love this recipe so much. That and the copious amounts of brown butter in it. It's really, really good. Slice the peach in half, working your knife around the circumference of the peach, and then use your hands to twist the peach apart. This will help loosen the pit, and then you can remove it with your fingers. I like to use a serrated knife because it makes it a lot easier to cut soft fruits like peaches or tomatoes in a really clean way. I'm also going to add about a half cup of blueberries to the peaches. It's not essential, but I think the peach blueberry combo is really, really tasty. One of my favorite summer mashups. To the blueberries and peaches, we'll also add coconut sugar, cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, and nutmeg. I highly recommend grating fresh nutmeg instead of buying the pre-ground stuff. It has this incredible depth of flavor, a really nice warm aroma, and it has a shelf life of like 3 to 4 years, so it's not going to go bad anytime soon. Mix the sugar and spices into the fruit, and we'll let this mixture sit for 30 minutes so the flavors can get cozy and comfortable with one another. While the fruit is resting, we'll go ahead and brown our butter. You need 10 tablespoons of vegan butter. Yes, this is a pretty decadent dessert, but if you're going to make peach cobbler, I think you should just go all out and make it the right way. To brown vegan butter, heat up a skillet over medium heat and add the butter pieces to melt. It should take 5 to 8 minutes until it's nicely browned. Be sure to stir frequently to prevent the butter from burning and ensure even cooking. Don't worry if it starts to foam after a few minutes. This is actually part of the browning process. When the butter is browned, pour it into a 2-quart baking dish. To make the cobbler batter, we'll start with some all-purpose flour. I'm using 1.5 cups of flour, and I've already measured it out, but I just want to show you how you should be measuring your flour to ensure that you get the best results. Don't scoop like this because you're going to over measure your flour. Instead, you want to spoon the flour into your measuring cup and then level it off with a knife. Add the flour to a mixing bowl along with some organic cane sugar, baking powder, salt, and rolled oats. Oats aren't traditional in a cobbler, but I love using them because they bring an interesting texture. Stir well so that you ensure the baking powder gets evenly distributed throughout the flour. Now we'll whisk some oat milk directly into the flour mixture. I love using oat milk in vegan baked goods because it does a really good job at browning, which is obviously important in a brown butter peach cobbler. I do recommend using the full fat variety of oat milk because you need a decent amount of fat content in this. We'll also add some pure vanilla extract along with a little bit of almond extract. The almond extract is such a delicious combination with the peaches, but it is optional. Whisk the mixture until everything is well combined. We've got our brown butter on the bottom of this 2-quart baking pan, and I'm going to dollop the batter directly on top. I love this recipe because it's so easy and so much easier than making pie, but just as good, if not better. Using a ladle or measuring cup, dollop the cobbler into the brown butter in the pan. By dolloping the batter, instead of just pouring it all on top at once, the brown butter will start to swirl into the cobbler. Then we'll spoon the peach blueberry mixture directly on top. Or if you're feeling fancy, you can arrange the peaches nicely on top of the batter. I'm usually always feeling fancy, so that's what I'm gonna do, but you could easily just spoon it with a spoon and keep it simple. Once you've arranged the peaches, spoon the blueberries on top of them. And don't forget all the syrupy drippings on the bottom. There's a lot of good stuff in here, so you don't want to omit it. Now it's time to pop the cobbler in the oven, 375 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 to 50 minutes until the brown butter is sticky and the cobbler is bubbling. This cobbler smells so amazing. We've got the cinnamon and the nutmeg with the peaches and the brown butter, and now I'm going to show you how I like to serve it. Oh my goodness, this is the best thing ever. Stop what you're doing and go make this.